Please note, this is just a review of the final work and not an endorsement of the creator. Any opinion or prior action belonging to the creator involved, unless otherwise stated, are not factors in this review. Thank you and enjoy!
Hey guys, StarCraft here, and continue with my March of Deathstroke. We're now getting into the DCU era, where Tony Daniel takes over and redefines Deathstroke. And one thing you should learn and know about this, and then once we get the Christopher Priest run, they completely disregard what the runs that came beforehand. Whether it be through just flat out ignoring or retcons, whatnot, mostly just flat ignoring. But yep, we'll be getting into this, and I have the Omnibus. Ironically, it's called the New 52 Omnibus, even though that would go to what we've been going over for a while. But part of why this was done was, well, Deathstroke had appeared in Arrow and was becoming a fan favorite there. And reminding people just how badass he is. So, we open up with Slade getting prepped up, just going on about, you know, what his job, his mission is, yada yada. We see him just talking about his contacts. He meets working with this one woman, Angelica, a Russian spy who, pretty badass, all things considered. Artwork by Tony Daniel is just amazing. His writing is alright. I think it's a bit of a step up from his Batman writing days. But then, their target is this guy named Possum, who seems to be just chuckling up about them, when all of a sudden then he busts out of his restraints. I think, we don't fully see it. He bashes Angelica's face in, good lord, and he then starts beating on, we seem to think he beats on Slade, gets his swords, but then Slade gets back by stabbing it the hilt right to the guy's head. As Slade starts to get out of there. Then he's being gunned at, shot at, blasted at, as he's trying to hurry out of there. Just fight. Again, complete another mindless action as he's just making his way through. And then apparently Possum is still alive. How? I don't know. But then he makes it up to I-Ching, a long DC standing character, where he falls over, and if you notice carefully, back of his head's been blasted in. He then wakes up, is wondering what's going on as I-Ching leaves, and this comes the big change. Slade has been completely de-aged, aged back to a younger body, complete with both eyes. Why? No, seriously, throughout all this, it's completely pointless as to why this happened. It's mostly done because of, well, again, the actor who played him in Arrow was so young. But yeah, he's just like I look young and all that as he's walking through, meets up with this guy here. We'll get back to him in a few moments, but let's just say this guy is another reason why I say New 52's stuff was retconned out. We had a guy with a hologram. There's this other fella is just talking with him, basically saying, yo, this is your mission. You're the one that was hired to go after Possum. Then he's being tested by attacking all of these more ninjas. Just again, a whole lot more action, blasting, blood, etc., etc. Oh, sorry about that again. He gets one guy who, he just gets the information out from him. As he leaves, and we find out that some of the people helping out include, who are going after Slade include Lady Shiva and Bronze Tiger. That ain't gonna be good. It seems to be implied that part of the reason why they made Slade so young is so it's a better way to keep him undercover and everything, but I'm not sure on that one. But then we end the second issue with Slade finding his son Jericho, who, remember, last we saw was definitely dead. He just completely ignored that, though. As Jericho even acts like, you left your family, you know, all that stuff, yada yada. Brings up about Rose, saying that she's safe. Oh, sorry again. Don't know why I'm so tired. Oh yeah, we see this guy here. He is the guy you saw earlier wearing the mask. And it turns out it's Slade's father. Yeah, like I said, completely just ignoring what came before, because that time he was bedridden. Now you could say, oh, it's that same thing. No, it's not. It's like shoots his own dad. And then Jericho decides, you know, he's getting out of here, so he then takes over Slade until he's able to get away. Eventually, Slade is regrouped, but then he ends up in a fight with Bronze Tiger as the two duke it out. We get a whole bunch of stuff of Slade basically make deals with this guy with the red, you know, mark on his face and everything. And he's like, oh, he just doesn't remember it, yada yada. Yeah, and even Slade has just been, you know, oh, Odysseus, that's the guy that was his father, has been harnessing Jericho's powers and experimenting his own genetic makeup. Then, yeah, we get confirmation that it was Slade's own father and everything. And we end the next issue with Harley Quinn saying how they were sold out to the Russians, and no one sells her out and betrays her or the Suicide Squad. As basically, then they're trying to get the information out of Bronze Tiger. Wait, I thought they were an ally. Nah, this guy's whole back and forth stuff is a little on the weird side. As apparently Angelica is alive. Not bad for getting her face caved in. She says apparently, I can heal. Not like you, but I've been genetically altered. And again, a whole lot of, don't you remember? Don't you remember? Things like that is just so wonky. Slade's, father is alive now. He's the one with the eye patch and everything. As he seems to be, he's ready to go, and apparently, yeah, Bronze Tiger and Lady Sheba have been working with Odysseus, as we soon meet up with Jericho, meets up with Rose, sporting a nice new, pretty different outfit for once. And she's just, fighting in. We then have, Slade meet up with Harley on a train. She seems perfectly content despite it moving at that high intensity and everything. Yeah, basically he's making a deal saying, help me out with finding my daughter, and then I'll help get you out from under Waller's thumb. She asks, can you kill Amanda Waller? Don't push it. And yeah, basically the two are now working together. She's kind of the Robin to his Batman, and ironically enough, Batman shows up ready for a fight, and Harley's just caught right in between, being a complete and utter fangirl. And yeah, we get a big fight between the two as they start to, pretty much duke it out, and that's throughout most of this issue. It's just a whole bunch of fist throwing and everything. But that is pretty much the whole issue. Even Harley at one point says, "You guys can go all night. Any woman's dreams, but I gotta go." As eventually the building's brought down. Harley goes looking for them and Slade's ready to throttle her. Hey, if I didn't believe you were this crazy, I'd squeeze your little head until you pop like a pimple. But I am that crazy. Start talking the truth. As Rose and Jericho meet up with Possum, which eventually leads to them and him getting blown up. As Jericho is starting to have some issues, as we lead into the final issue of this arc where Odysseus has caught up with them. Okay, the way Tony Daniel draws Harley is interesting. She's so pouty, like, things like that. But at the same time, then, just as badass. Again, most of this is more of a showcase for Tony's artwork than it is some coherent writing. Apparently, their grandfather Odysseus wants Jericho's powers for himself. As Rose is mortified, wanting to help her brother. Slade shows up and starts gunning everyone down. I do like this. Slade with Harley and Rose. Harley looks a lot younger now that I think about it. As it basically starts to get a little anticlimactic as we have father versus son going, duking it out until Slade just throws his father right onto a bunch of sharpnel debris until Bronze Tiger comes to and he stabs her, he starts to pass out. Rose is like, "Who is this guy? He's not our father." Not recognizing him, of course, as Jericho suddenly does, lets out a big blast that says, "Enough!" And it's basically said as they're all missing, Slade wakes up and he's deciding that someone's made it personal. He's gonna go figure out who and what. This arc is an interesting start, but the thing about Tony Daniel is he's a lot better when he's not writing himself. When he's writing himself, he's caring less about the story and more about just, again, setting up cool artwork or nice asses in the case of Harley, among other things. But not saying it's a bad thing, but just the idea of making him young, I'm pretty sure it was a mandate put on him, but Going into the next arc will be a bit more interesting because he's sticking to the writing duty, but that's when we start to get Tyler Kirkman more involved. Tony Daniel will stick around, but next is when we start bringing the God Killer and Wonder Woman, which is actually interesting enough because the God Killer was utilized relatively recently. That was introduced in here. But this is also where we're introduced to John and James Bonney, as well as the scripter and co-writer, which I think DC realized Tony needed because, from what I understand, the sales started off strong, but did not, and we're starting to dip already. So, tune in tomorrow as we go over the God Killer arc. Catch you guys later.